sense, I might pay you. Make it make sense, I might pay you.
Make it make sense, come on, make it, baby. Make it make sense, come on, make it make sense, come on, make it, baby. Make it make sense, come on, make it.
What's good, y'all? Let's Make Sense of It podcast. We are back for another week, and like we always say,
The truth you don't want, but you definitely need it.
you definitely need it. I go by the boy Vance,
And I'm Ash.
and we're back again. Like always, follow us on Instagram. Let's Make Sense of It _. Let's Make Sense of It _. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Make sure y'all subscribe to our YouTube channel. Those numbers are really going up, so we appreciate all of our subscribers. Make sure you subscribe. On all your listening platforms, make sure you leave a review and subscribe on there. You know, the more you subscribe, the more you leave a review, like and share, the more we pop up in these searches. So definitely keep leaving a review. And if you need any gear, Letsmakesenseofitpodcast.com. Letsmakesenseofitpodcast.com. Gear on there, and definitely more gear coming. So let's get into it. All right. Been a wild week. So let me start off this way. So all our questions we got this way is just the different perspectives. You know what I'm saying? We don't really have an overall general topic, but we're going to just hit it with different perspectives here. So let's start it this way. Can a person's social media timeline influence you not to date them?
What? So is that saying like if a guy had a bunch of girls as his followers?
No, just his timeline in general. Example, like if it's female and all she has is pictures of her ass out.
Yeah, so that's most of the time this is what it is. He got a bunch of female followers, so his timeline is constantly just either ass shots, twerking, or, you know, some explicit clothing, or I don't know. I mean, I don't think that should influence. I don't think that should like turn you away from him.
So next, all right. So how would I explain this? So not necessarily turn you away. So if you a guy and you see that female, all she does is post certain type of pics, is certain type of shit on her Instagram or her social media, you automatically going to get a narrative, whether right or wrong, but you're going to get a narrative about how this chick is or what she is, which can be, you know, completely wrong because you're never supposed to judge a book by its cover. But on the same hand, if every picture is just you bent over or you twerking or you just half naked, guys are already going to get a perspective like they're not going to want to take you serious pretty much. And it might be unfair, but it's the truth.
Or they always gonna come off to you very sexual. They gonna sexualize you before they try to figure out if you like got a good personality or if you a good person, if you're nice or whatever the case may be. They just gonna automatically think sex. Like how many ways can they bend you?
Yeah, and that's the fucked up part because I think sometimes when chicks lead with shit like that, which not even lead, like I say, it's your Instagram, you can do what you want. But don't say you can't say on one hand you want a guy that's along the lines of, let me see, how would I put this? You want a nice wholesome guy, but then all of your attraction is with your ass pics out. That shit gets, I mean, as from a guy's perspective, like that's cool and all that, but after a while you be like, all right, what more do you have to offer? Is that just all your Instagram will be? Like, it's to the point that we get impressed when you have clothes on, because you don't have to be naked to be beautiful. And I don't think some females unfortunately they don't think that way. Some of them they just want to show their body off, and that's fine too. But you can show your body off and wear clothes. Leave some type of imagination for the guy that you might be dating, because if he just see everything, he like what?
They ain't about to like you for that.
Yeah, like you just in lingerie.
Take whatever picture you want to take.
Right.
I just feel as though if you want, like, nobody's gonna tell you how to control your social media or what you can and cannot put on your stories or post about. But just know that whatever you post comes with, I'm not gonna say a consequence, but it comes with the territory. So however a guy approaches you, usually it's from that. Like, you know, most people, if you on social media and they follow you, they looking at your pictures. They trying to see, like, you know, what you look like from a bunch of angles. Like, you know, they probably zooming in on your feet and shit like that. It might sound weird, but motherfuckers do it.
Zoom in on the foot.
Nobody's gonna sit there and admit to it, but I'm gonna come on. Let's think about reality. Somebody's doing it. They zooming in to see like how your butt poking out in this, or how big your stomach might be, whatever the case.
See how much filter is on that picture.
Yeah, how much filter is on the picture. You know, because then you got the hating ass niggas that'll be like, oh, you always got a filter in your picture. Like, bitch, okay, so what? Like sometimes, and listen, this might be a little sidetracked, but sometimes you take a picture And you listen, you might leave the house and be like, you look good. Like the mirror is telling you, you look good. And when you take a picture, the camera is telling you what the fuck. So I'm just saying, if you want to put a filter on your picture, sis, go ahead and do that. But don't be posting a picture saying there's no filter or like face card violet, but it's a filter. Even if it's a soft filter, it doesn't matter. It's a filter.
It'd be face card violet. Would it be the filter over the filter?
Yeah, like your face card is not valid. Like your face card is valid if I can see all the pimples, craters, dimples, whatever the case may be in your face. That's your face card is valid. That's perfectly that's like that. Like we on camera. Ain't no filter on it.
Ain't no makeup, nothing. This is us.
It's what it is. Like, I mean, you know, but yeah.
Yeah, show you it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Your face, I think it's been becoming the stereotype of your face has to be, you know what I'm saying, just perfect. Just because you have a perfect, you know what I'm saying, your face might look perfect, that don't mean your skin is perfect. I think sometimes people get that misconstrued. Like, all right, I don't have no pimples, I don't have nothing, and you just think you got healthy skin. That's not always the case.
Nah, it might be dry. You need to learn if you got oily skin, mix, you know, in between.
You know what's underneath it.
Dry. Y'all need to understand those things. But I mean, I just feel as though if you post whatever you post on social media, just don't. A lot of women feel attacked when it comes to that type of stuff, or even a guy, if you know, he might feel attacked as well. He might be like, well, even if I have all these female followers, like I'm a guy, that's mostly what's probably gonna follow me, what I'm gonna accept.
Right.
And then, but I still have guy followers. It's the weirdest. They be like, I don't want no niggas following me. Like, you're weird. You're really weird.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
Like,
but
what, bro?
If you whatever you posting, stand 10 toes down on what you posted. If your first three rows of pictures on your page is you with your back turned and your ass poking out, stand 10 toes down on it. Like you don't need to explain that shit to nobody.
They be killing me though with the Bible, with the Bible quote in the bio though.
No.
They be killing me with the bio. Yo, I seen the joint had Bible quote in the bio, and then it was just all ass pics and everything. Like what the. Yeah, is it the Lord is my savior? It was just.
He can be, but you need to discuss with him some things about how you presenting yourself.
Yeah,
it's a shout.
Another thing when it comes to social media with your page, just a little off topic. Like if your page is gonna be something like for business wise, make it for business wise. If it's gonna be something for family wise, make it for family wise. You can't, unless you like a celebrity, you can't be mixing. We don't know what's going on.
Listen, if you got like 10K followers and plus, or whatever case to me, like if you mixing your business and your personal, you could probably get away with it.
Yeah, but
for
if
those,
you want to
those that have, the less amount of followers, like if you got a business page, make it your business page. Like you're trying to build your following up. A lot of these motherfuckers have a following, so they can kind of mix that, into there. But they don't put themselves in a really bad light to where it's like, oh, I won't do that. Like if you a hairstylist, you can kind of mix it or whatever case may be because more likely you know how to do your own hair. Right. So you can put your hair on there. If you out, whatever case may be, your makeup look nice and you putting your clients on there. That's perfectly fine. But if you, doing tax credit or if you not tax credit, if you're doing somebody's taxes, if you fixing somebody's credit and shit like that, like why am I looking at, your kid's second birthday party? That shouldn't be on this page. That has nothing to do with what I need from you. I'm tired of going to
that's like like if you gonna have a business, me personally, I would say make them separate. You know what I'm saying? Have your personal, but also have your business page because you don't. It's hard when you start mixing the two. You can shout out your business page for your personal page, but when you start mixing the two, like you said, especially with your hairstylist, now you got some of it is hair, then some of it is like your kid, then some of it is you at a party, then some of it it's not even you showing off your hairstyle. You just there. Like make the make sure y'all had that right balance.
I want to see like what your talent is like. I can't see that if your business is one thing, but your page is showing me 6 different. I'm very confused, and I just don't know where to come in at. Like, should I comment underneath the picture of at your mom's birthday party and say like, hey, I emailed you the other day about my credit. Like, you're gonna fix it for me, or like shit like that. You need those lines. Like, if you're trying to build yourself up, please. You get boundaries.
Yeah, because you don't want to send somebody to your page and they got to search to find exactly what you do. Like they trying to search. What do you? Oh, you said you do what? They got to go through 20 pictures before they finally get to some of your work. Like, we don't want that to happen. Can a woman being too independent cause a man to be turned off?
Yeah, it depends on how she presents it. If you start dating somebody, you come right out like, I don't need you for shit. Just understand it. That's very aggressive.
From the rip.
That's very aggressive, and that will turn somebody off. If you having a conversation and he has a one way of looking at how he wants his relationship to go, and you have a different personality and a way that you want the relationship to go, then you discuss it. But if you just come right out like, I don't need you for shit. I don't need no nigga. I can do this all by myself. I've been doing it by myself before you guys. I'm gonna do it after. I'm gonna do it by myself once you leave. All that type of shit. Damn. Okay. Well, miss, get you a puppy and go about your business.
Yeah. Coming from a guy that's dealt with nothing but independent chicks that they didn't need me for shit. So, all right, how would I explain it? So, it's good to be an independent chick. That's perfectly fine. But you got to realize some guys weren't brought up. How would I put it? Knowing how to deal with an independent chick. All they knew was how to deal with chicks that was either battered, bruised, or just, you know what I'm saying, needed a nigga for something. They didn't know about dealing with it. So when you a guy, such as me, I'm humble, but I'm just gonna say this right now. When you a guy that got your own shit, that don't really need a female for nothing. It's a certain way you know how to approach these chicks. Just like with the females that single. So when you strong and you independent yourself as a guy and you got your own shit, and then you come across a female that got her own shit, you know how to mesh the two worlds.
Yeah.
Because it's like, all right, you got your own, I got my own, but how we gonna make this? How we gonna work as a unit? How we gonna work as one?
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes guys that I want to say it was a masculinity thing, but some guys that didn't come up like. How would I put this? How would I put it? They didn't come up knowing how to pretty much take care of that, knowing how to deal with a female that can take care of her own shit pretty much. They don't know how. Like, most guys, they come up, they see a chick, they throw their money around, and a chick, 9 times out of 10, a chick's going to come to them or whatever. Just, they're going to attract that specific type of chick. But when you throw that money around and that chick looking at you like, all right, so I got my own money. Or you look at that chick like, I got my own place, so I got my own place too. I got my own car. Got my own car too, and you like,
or even if she don't have a car, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, or she got her own.
Live right now.
She got her own shit on. Like when you can't throw that money at them, that's when you gotta adjust yourself and realize like, all right, that goes back to the whole trying to treat every female the same. You can't treat every female the same. That's not even that's not how that works. Especially nowadays, females got it way more going on right now than dudes. And the dudes just sit back and be like, man, congratulations for you. Da-da-da-da. Eventually, you think the guys will get up off his ass and be like, damn, man, I need to go get some shit done too.
That's true too. I mean, listen, Vance kind of said it all, yo, but definitely, you can't treat every female or nigga the same, and you can't flash your money at everybody. It doesn't work that way. As an independent female, like, you know, if I want to go on a date, I don't always wait for my boyfriend to say something like, baby, you want to go on a date? I want to go on a date. Let's go. It is what it is. And you can only do that, and you can't do that for every nigga, because every nigga will take advantage of, some niggas will take advantage of that and think that you always supposed to be out here pulling your wallet out or something like that. But you can do it for your nigga that you know will pick you up at 0 or below that and make sure that you good and still be there for you if you at 100 and he not there yet. It's a give or take. If y'all both independent, if y'all both come to the table with y'all own shit, like if y'all both trying to come to the table with a table, listen, it's like, all right, so we both got a table now, we're making it longer. We got to put some chairs around this joint. We got to make it look a little cozy. Right. That's what you're trying to do when y'all both independent. One of y'all can't be independent and the other one is like leeching off of that. It's just, you're not getting anything out of that. Right.
And that goes vice versa too, for like when some females, they come off as the independent and they think they're going to be able to talk to a guy a certain way, and the guy come back at him like, listen, this ain't that. Right. Like, this ain't that. I got my own too. Because the sad part is it's a lot of bums out here. There's a lot of females and males. But somehow, you know, it's always pointed toward it. There's a lot of females out here that some bums too. They just go to the club with no money, you know what I'm saying? They ain't.
But they think it's hustling.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, to each his own, Miss Mamas.
Yeah.
But
like I said,
that's prostitution.
When you come across a guy that got his own and he just like, all right, I'm gonna keep it moving. See, those type of guys sometimes imitate those real strong independent females, because they like they've been the ones so used to, they had their own, and guys taking longer to get their shit together. So when they come across a guy that got his shit together, they be like, damn, all right. They be a little standoffish, little hesitant.
I feel like that should motivate you though. If you come across a female or a man that has their shit together, and either you trying to get your shit together, that should motivate you to want to do better. I'm not saying go out and start a business. That is not for everybody. Like I've said before, everybody does not need to be an entrepreneur.
Please,
some
no.
people need to be soldiers in the war instead of trying to be the captains and leaders. It is what it is. Everybody, you got to start somewhere. But if you're going to go out and find you a job that you actually enjoy, that pays you well, that doesn't stress you out, you ain't got to take mental health days and shit like that. Like, you know, find where your place is at. Because this person already has their shit together. And if they really love you and care about where you're going and what you want to do in life, they'll help you to a certain extent. They'll motivate you to keep going. Just don't look at people and see that they're doing better or they doing this and start to be envious or jealous of them.
And fellas, when it comes to dealing with independent females, you got to ask questions. I'm tell you that right now, because they not gonna ask you for shit.
Right?
They not gonna ask you for nothing.
Yeah.
You gotta initiate the conversation and ask them, do you need this? Because an independent female won't ask you for nothing. They will figure that shit out on their own. You could be in a whole relationship all these years, they won't never ask you for nothing. That's why you gotta go out of your way.
You be like, babe, that's already handled, huh? You ain't asked me for, it's fine. It's already handled. We already did that. It's good. You good. I'm tired of you more.
You gotta go out your way and ask them. Now, off of that, because I see it a lot, and I feel like we never really gotta. It's always the men and the females bashing heads when it comes to the female, the strong, independent female don't need a nigga, and then it's the nigga that feel like they can't approach a certain female because the female is just she's too strong, she don't want to be approachable, but she want a nigga.
I mean,
it's always the niggas ain't shit, and it's always females ain't shit. Nobody wants to.
I feel like people overthink it. Like, it's not like you trying to hunt it's not like you're a lion trying to hunt a gazelle in Africa. You're not on a safari. You're in the city.
Right.
Just approach her normally. Don't try to approach her and win her over right then and there. Approach her normally. If she feeling you, she's gonna feel you regardless. If she's not, then she's not.
Yeah. Don't try
to. Ass sitting there. Y'all be trying to like push these bitches. It's just like, if she's not interested, move on. There are more females than there are males in this world. Move to the next bitch. It is okay. If she feel as though she made a mistake and you still out there looking or searching, or you still available, maybe she'll spin the block. I don't know. But stop trying to win these bitches over as soon as you meet them. You don't like it's how you approach it. If she's feeling you, she's gonna talk to you. The conversation opens from there. And then you can win her over during that conversation. But y'all just come over from the jump on some shit and it just be like, your approach was wrong because it's the wrong female that you're approaching like that. And that's for a female as well. Like, don't you know that you're a good person, you know that you're a strong female, you know that you're independent, you have your own shit. You don't need a nigga for shit. You were, raised well. You don't have that much trauma, whatever the case may be. And you meet this guy and you're trying to win him over by doing X, Y, and Z. And it's just like, that comes into that doing wifey things for a nigga that's not even yours yet. And it's just like, you don't need to do that. Stop trying to win this nigga over automatically, because somebody's out there is going to appreciate it. And he has to appreciate it. Y'all just be giving him everything and he ain't got to, you don't even stop to see if he appreciated it. Now he expecting it.
Yeah, and we also got to stop saying, on both sides, when dudes say they don't need a female for shit, and when women say they don't need a nigga for shit, because at the end of the day, we need each other. We definitely need each other. We can't want us to protect you, but you can't want a man to protect you, but you keep saying you don't need a nigga for nothing. You need the nigga for protection. Like, you need it's fucked up as shit is out here. You need especially black men, The black man is supposed to protect the female. But on the female side, you can't keep saying we don't need these niggas for shit, and then on the same side say you're not protected because I don't need you for nothing. Yeah, you do. We all need something. We all need somebody for something.
Right.
Like for some type, whether it's affection, whether it's just it could just be to pick your brain. We all need somebody for something. Nobody can do this shit on our own. I don't give a fuck how independent you are. I don't give a fuck how successful your business is. Somewhere along the lines, you needed somebody for something.
Yeah, you want them there for a reason. It's just a female wants to feel like a female. I don't give a fuck if she an MMA fighter and she got millions of dollars in the bank or whatever case may be. She wants a man there so she can feel feminine about herself. Like, what female wants to walk around feeling masculine all the fucking time? Like, unless you're masculine. Yeah, now that more goes to like LGBT type stuff.
Right.
But unless you're, that way, you don't need a nigga. You want a female because you are already masculine. But there are females who are feminine, and you need a man to make you feel feminine. Other than that, you're walking around constantly with your head and your chest poked out because you don't want nobody to try you.
Yeah, and that's the problem. It's not enough masculine males around to make that female want to show that feminine side, because that's why a lot of females feel like they have to be the masculine one nowadays, because it's feel like the niggas is acting like the females, which I don't understand.
Females is out here bucking before a nigga because they don't know which way some of y'all coming. Like, some of y'all new breed niggas is just questionable.
It's the questionable.
Questionable,
Yeah.
like-
We need more men to act like men.
Yeah,
No
like,
disrespect to nobody else, but we need more men
Like, y'all need
to act
to-
like men, so that the women can act like women. But
And y'all can stop these other podcasts diminishing women, saying that they acted like such and such. What are you acting like? If
Yeah.
every time we turn around, you talking down on us, it's like, yeah, that doesn't work. It doesn't work that way.
no,
So
yeah. To them other parts, please stop talking down. Please stop talking down on women, man. Especially if there's no women there, man, because y'all just making it rough on us.
I got a question after this.
Go ahead. What you got? Go ahead.
So it was a clip I saw. It was on a podcast, and one of the comments I'm gonna get to what the topic was, but one of the comments on it was like, Amazon need to stop selling podcast equipment because every week there's a new snippet from a podcast where it's some questionable conversations going on, and it's usually either about a female or sometimes it's about a female coming from a black male. Or light skinned male, or whatever case may be, or it's from a female talking about a man, and it just sounds kind of off. So it's just like it's clickbait as well, but it's still making everybody like they don't want to listen to podcasts. But the conversation was basically saying, how come women, when a woman's not in the mood to have sex with a guy, she says no. It's a hard no, and even if he tries, it automatically is rape on all levels. This is what the guy said, and the female responded by saying. She said basically men have low boundaries because if she's in the mood for sex and he says no, he basically said if she's in the mood for sex and he says no, she's gonna push herself on them because eventually he's gonna give in and give her what she wants. So nobody looks at it as rape then. And she basically said that men have low boundaries. You need to stand on it because if I say no, I'm standing on it.
Right.
So, opinions.
That is usually that's interesting. Interesting how they put it. So low boundaries meaning what? Like just all right. So like you said,
standing 10 toes on your no. If I tell
but
my
you know,
man
but you know why? Because if a nigga was to stand 10 toes on his no, the female is the woman is automatically going to like look at you like what? Like they're gonna look at you like what do you mean? Those are the words that are gonna come out that woman's mouth. What do you mean?
right.
And you just be like, I'm tired. I don't want to. You can't. You can as a guy. You can never tell a woman that you're tired. You don't want to have sex. That's just not how that works.
Now I will agree with you on that because I was one of the females. So I will agree with you on that because you'll start thinking it like, why you telling me no? And but that only it goes to I can only be able to think that what was leading up to that point. So
Right.
it wasn't like were we not having sex for like a week or two now?
Right.
Or has it been a few days and we haven't had sex and you haven't even tried anything? You don't hit my butt no more. Like
Yeah, that's a little
you ain't
questionable.
even trying to get little passes here and there. Like you ain't even trying to do no quickies, no lazy side booty, no morning wake up call, nothing. Like you ain't do none of that. So that's gonna make me. So when you say no,
Now it's
that'll
gonna make you
automatically make
question,
you wonder like, what the fuck is going on? But if we had a morning quickie, if we had something else in between the day, we had sex the night before, and you say no tonight, okay, that's fine.
All right.
But
Vice versa. If a female say no, gosh, is out of luck. It's like, all right.
Nope.
it's just.
You better lay your ass
It's
down.
just a no.
You want to cuddle though? We can cuddle. You can't do nothing else.
Let me ask you this question. Do women change for men, or is it just one way and the men have to change for the women?
I feel how she started. Like, what kind of change did you want to see in her? Like, did you just want to see growth? Like, did y'all start dating as kids and like you saw the growth as her becoming an adult, maybe becoming a mother or whatever? Like, what kind of change? It depends on what kind of change you're looking for or
Right.
talking about. Like, I think it all comes with growth.
Yeah. If you love that person enough and you really want to be with that person enough, anybody will change. To it. They might not change, 100% change, but you'll see them putting some effort towards changing certain behaviors, changing certain things. It might not happen overnight.
Yeah.
It's definitely not going to happen overnight. Trust me, coming from a guy, it's definitely not going to happen overnight. But for the right one, you'll change.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely for the right one.
You have to grow outside of what you've been used to. And another thing, like we said before, you can't come into something saying this is how I am. You have to deal with it. I'm not changing. It's just like, well, I guess you're gonna be sitting there because you're a rock.
Yeah,
You know,
because
the rock is the only thing that doesn't
listen,
change unless
even-
somebody breaks it.
even the seasons change. You know what I'm
That
saying?
part.
If you plant and see you gotta live a relationship like it's a plant. You know what I'm saying? You started off putting the seeds out there early. You don't want to just be stuck with just seeds there. No, you want to see it grow. Whether it's you growing flowers, whether you're growing a tree, whatever you're growing, you want to see it change. You don't just want to just plant these seeds and then they just never grow. They just there.
I mean, your soil is bad.
Yeah, exactly. That means it's bad soil all the way around.
Bad
Like,
soil all the way around. So, I mean, everybody, I believe a woman does change for a man because it's a certain amount of growth that women go through within a relationship. Because you go through making sure that this relationship is not like your other ones. And then if you go into this relationship as, you know, y'all two it's y'all two, and then all of a sudden you decide to have kids. Now you become a mother. So that's a change because your mindset has to change with that as well. As well as your body, mentality, everything like that. Everything changes. And then if you go into it from just y'all being y'all two to now y'all being husband and wife. That's a change too because it's no longer boyfriend, girlfriend, this. Now it's wife, husband. Your responsibilities might change. The way you hang out might change. Who you hang out with changes. Yeah. So I believe a woman goes through a lot of changes in a relationship. I mean, a guy goes through them, I think, more so mentally.
right.
Mentally, he goes through those. Of course, everybody goes through relationship changes physically, but mentally and emotionally, there's always a shift. So, yeah.
Hey man, listen. You did. Make sure I got good soil. Let's put it that way. Make sure the soil's good. You put seeds out there, shit ain't growing, man. So we'll take a break from that. We're gonna get into our 2 cents segment, which is, you know, our messy / we got some topics that we're gonna throw out there, some scenarios we're gonna throw out there, but I'm not giving a number out because, you know, I'm done with the number. Done with the number now. As in, if you want the number for the 2 cents line, you can check it on our Instagram. Go follow on our Instagram. You know what I'm saying?
This is over, y'all.
Absolutely. All right, so I got 2 of them. One is national, but one I'm just gonna start with this one. Says a friend convinces you to go on a double date with them. Now, mind you, it's a blind date. When you get to the location, you realize that the blind date is your ex. What is your next move?
Who the fuck is the friend? Pause. Who the fuck is the friend?
Hey man,
Wait.
what is it?
Okay.
What if it was a friend that's not in your immediate circle? Like it could have been a work friend. You know what I'm saying? It could have been.
Oh.
It could have been like something like a work friend. They didn't know you. You don't tell all your friends everything.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't tell all your friends everything. So it could have been like a work friend. It could have been a new friend. You never know.
I was about to say if it's a close friend, like bitch, you tried it.
I'm not saying it's a best friend. They should know.
Right,
They should know way better.
Okay, new friend, work friend, they don't know everything. All right, and you feel like it depends on how you and that ex broke up. If you and that ex broke up because of some toxic shit, because they was on some dirty shit, because they was, you know, one of them trifling ass motherfuckers.
Damn.
Then you be like, nah, I'm going home. Or I'm going to go sit at the bar. I'm not sitting at this table because I don't want to talk to this nigga. Or I don't want to be around this motherfucker.
You ain't staying for the meal. What if they pay for the meal?
What I'm gonna who I'm gonna talk to?
You got a point there.
Who I'm gonna talk to?
That's gonna turn into an argument. Actually,
I don't want to talk to my friend because
be,
she on a date and I want her to enjoy her date. You know,
that's
and
awkward.
then we sitting there trying to have a conversation and they laughing and kikiing and I don't want to talk to this man. Like,
you got the face all balled up.
They like, what? Can you stay? No, I'm gonna go sit at the bar. Y'all can sit with him. I'm not sitting with him. I don't want to sit here. But if it was like a cool ex, then I'm gonna enjoy it.
Like you said, depending on what ex it is, like I'm not doing this. I might walk in and instantly get hurt. I might walk in like, just my face gonna tell it all before I say anything. Like just like anybody, my face is gonna say it all. Like why would you bring? I mean, I'm pretty sure they probably wouldn't know. Yo, bro, I got this John. Da da da. All right, cool. You might have been a work. You might have been a work friend. You ain't know nothing. And then they pull up. I'm like,
see, I couldn't even do it because I'd be like, you gotta show me a picture. Like, no,
yeah,
it's a blind date.
That's the blind date thing.
No,
don't
you need to show me a picture.
Don't hit me with the blind date.
No.
Do not hit me with the blind
For
date.
all I know, it could be a fucking cousin. Shit, now you really fucked up.
That would be weird. That really would be weird because now you was friends with the cousin. You ain't even. Oh yeah, that now sound like it was calculated.
Because you don't know all your cousins. You don't know all of them. They across this world, everywhere. You
might have been calculated.
Now you on a blind date. You like, you look real familiar. Look like your Uncle Johnny. Mm-hmm.
All right, now the situation of the week.
Who?
This Will Smith situation. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure y'all done heard it. Y'all done heard it enough.
If you ain't heard it, you living underneath the rock.
You definitely underneath that rock. You underneath that rock that's not changing. That's you. You that rock that's not changing. That's you.
Because how?
All right, now there's a lot of different perspectives to look at it from. You look at it from Will Smith's perspective, you can look at it from Chris Rock's perspective, and you can look at it from Jada Pickett's perspective, and you can look at it from our perspective. So, however you want to, you can go. You want to go first?
Sure. So, as a black woman, yeah, I feel as though my husband should protect me at all costs.
Of course,
whatever it was. If it made me feel some type of way, I ain't saying I'm gonna be like sick him or like you gotta do something to handle this shit. It's just like if it made me feel some type of way, he would already know that, and he would come to my defense, whichever way that may be. Now everybody's saying that, oh, he shouldn't have punched him. It was the Oscars. You just don't do that there. You're a black man and da 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 da. I just want somebody to point out to me if these were two white men, right? If these were two white men that punched each other on stage, got into a full out brawl or whatever the case may be, they would have actually fought. You can't tell me that they would have stood there like Chris Rock did. They would have actually fought, and it would have been something else, and it would have been quick to go to commercial and then come back with something else. But the whole white race wouldn't have been going up in arms saying they set us back years or they making us look like animals. No, they would have pinned it on them two motherfuckers that was on stage that did it. But because they're two black men, and y'all see these two black men that got, I'm not even gonna call it an altercation because Will Smith slapped them and Chris Rock stood there. Because Chris Rock stood there because he was in the position that he's working. Yeah. What else was he gonna do? And then you already know the backlash that was coming. But for everybody to say they traumatized, and I was like, he slapped him. He didn't beat his ass. He didn't shoot him. He didn't pull out a gun and shoot everybody. The audience was laughing when he slapped him. And now everybody's traumatized. Now everybody's traumatized. Y'all taking all this shit away from him, and he gotta apologize and everything like that. And then everybody's bringing up Jada Pickett's whole thing with August Alsina and how she. Now listen, I don't like that. I didn't like that she has all their dirty laundry and everything that they go through out here. But it is what it is. That's them as husband and wife. They probably discussed it. I'm not in their marital, so I don't know. Right. But the simple fact is that if you read his book, you know how their relationship goes. You know the things that they talk about. You know the things that nothing was unknown and that this is what it is. Now, the conversation that she had with her husband for national television, and we all got to see how he reacted, that is what it is. That's his raw emotion. But y'all really, really milking the shit out of this for this black man, and it's horrible. And y'all making it seem like Chris Rock is this fragile-ass white woman, and he's not. He's a grown-ass man. Just because he's a comedian, and y'all can go back and say that our generations went through Whitney Houston crack jokes, we went through R. Kelly rapist jokes and all that type of shit. First of all, when R. Kelly was getting talked about as being a rapist, I was a kid. Let's just put that the fuck out there. And the whole Whitney Houston crack jokes, yeah, it wasn't right, nor was it funny, nor was it right to put it out there. But she never reacted to it. Nor did Bobby Brown, nor did anybody else on her team. Y'all can't pinpoint how somebody's going to react to something and then put yourself in their shoes and say, well, I wouldn't have did that, because you don't know. In that moment, you don't know exactly what you would have did. He could have pulled out a gun too. Y'all don't fucking know that. It didn't matter. But I'm just saying, y'all really milking this situation.
Yeah, y'all about to milk it. All right, so definitely all for it, you know what I'm saying, the smack. I'm all, listen, you need to talk about minds, and then we think it's just going to sit there. Because he sat there for a minute. It's almost like she gave him a side eye, like, yo, what's up? Now, the way he handled it might have been too. All right, so personally, he could have still walked up on that stage, but he could have walked right past, like, because you could tell Chris Rock was just sitting there like he didn't know. First of all, what did he think was going to happen? What did you think he was going to happen when he walked on stage? You thought you were going to have a conversation?
He thought it was
what did you think was going to happen? And then that fist, they saw that hand go, and then he like ducked back for a minute, like caught him off guard, like, oh shit, like I just got slapped. Like his face was stuck. Like the fucked up part was he was giving a reward to was it Black Thought? Was Black Thought? Didn't Black Thought win it? I think after that slap he won an award. I forget. I don't know. I think Chris Rock was presenting that to Black Thought, which is ironic that it was
Black Thought,
the rapper Black Thought from damn, I'm about to the Roots, from the Roots.
You talking about Questlove?
Questlove. I said Black Thought. My bad.
What?
Same group, wrong person. Questlove. There you go.
Questlove, yes.
Questlove. So he was. I was in the city. I was in the wrong group member. My bad. All them niggas got Sunnis. My bad. Say no. No, but I can see how. Well, one, I don't really give a fuck how other races really view us, because they view us how they gonna view us anyway. That's never gonna change. Number one, I don't understand why people keep trying to get so caught up on how, oh, the white people gonna look at us this way, oh, the other races gonna look at us this way. They already look at us that way.
Exactly.
You see the same motherfuckers at that Academy, that Oscars. You how many young black faces you see at that fucking young black male faces you see at that Oscars? Not many. Nope. You see all the OGs there, the Tyler Perrys, the Denzels, the Will Smiths, the Chris Rocks. You don't see the young faces no more. I think the last young face you probably see was probably a Michael B. Jordan. Who all of the young black actors? So they already see it, look at it a certain way. Now I give Chris Rock credit for him to continue on like that. Right, now. You can tell him a caught off guard because if the comedian in him, he probably really wanted to tell another joke, but he didn't really. He was in shock. You know what I'm saying? As far as the people being traumatized, like what?
Yo,
like what are y'all even? What are you traumatized for?
Sykes, a bunch of white people.
Like,
what the fuck? Are you serious?
It sounds like it's almost like a colluded plan for them to just say a bunch of shit, and now because come on, Netflix, really?
And his tickets.
Just think about that. Just think about that. Just think of Netflix.
Yeah.
All the shit y'all been dealing with the past year, this is the one y'all gonna put
the LGBT, all that trans shit, and y'all want to stop Will Smith back because he slept.
Like what? Don't even make that.
Like
that's bullshit. Come on, Netflix.
Bullshit.
Half y'all employees walked out. Y'all didn't give a fuck about nothing. Don't. You can't play both sides of the fence here. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna stand by one. Wait, because Will Smith ain't a comedian, y'all not gonna stand past him? Like,
it doesn't.
It don't even matter.
But y'all never had any bad news for Will Smith. Like,
right?
It's not. Like he out here doing scandalous shit. Y'all just see him get.
He got a smack, man.
That's his reaction. Y'all don't know what anybody's reaction is gonna be. Like y'all just out here just judging him off of that, and y'all taking stuff away from it. And then people saying, "Well, I would never condone somebody slapping. I would never condone violence." Some of y'all getting the uproar about simple shit. And for all these white motherfuckers who out there saying they traumatized, y'all was not traumatized when these police was out here beating our asses and any of that type of shit. Yeah. Y'all traumatized from this? Get the fuck out of my face.
Black man traumatized. You know what I'm saying? Of course it looks bad. You know, two black men up there. Even so, I get it. I get the people that say coming from that perspective. Yeah, I get it. It looks bad, and you know people might. But at the end of the day, you're not going to change certain people's minds. It don't matter. When somebody has a perspective about something, I want people to understand this. If somebody is deep rooted in what they believe, stop trying to force them to see your side of shit.
Right.
Or no, not even see your side of shit. Stop trying to force them to change their viewpoint. You can give them an opinion and make them think like, okay, I get it. But they're not going to change their mindset. If that's how they look at you, that's how they look at you. They could look at a black person, a black person might have killed their kid. And it don't have nothing to do with all black people. Just this particular black person has traumatized them. So now they traumatized by everybody. Just like white people, certain parts of the South, certain black people scared to go to because we traumatized by fucking the nooses and all this other crazy shit. So we all got some traumatization in there, but
that slat wasn't traumatized.
Yeah, no, come on.
And they ain't got shit to do with the entire black community. Will Smith, Art, and Chris Rock are both their own person.
Yeah, they gonna be alright.
They're grown ass
rich people problems.
Yeah, exactly.
I never seen a slap like what, yo.
Y'all seen worse. Y'all living happy. Now y'all motherfuckers in Philadelphia. Y'all have seen worse. Y'all have seen simple shit. Y'all have seen full on brawls between females over a nigga, and you talking about a slap?
Yeah, I'm gonna need y'all to wrap that. Just go ahead and wrap that up. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to hear this shit no more. You know what I'm saying? They're traumatized. Like, cause now, like I say, he losing everything. Yeah. They holding back movies. Like, come on, man.
Yeah,
like
talking about some no bad boys.
Over a
like,
slap?
what the fuck else was you gonna put in the movie?
Like, come on, man. But you know, comedians is gonna be joking about this for months now. You see, his brother already said something.
Nobody give a fuck about Tony Rock. Where's Tony Rock's All of Us, which was produced by Will and Jada. Get the fuck out of my face.
Which is ironic that it's produced by them. That's the funny part.
Come on.
But hey, man, listen. All right, let me ask you this question. Off of that, or not even off of that, let me ask you this question. Does love come with pain?
Yeah.
And why do you think that is?
Because people change like the seasons, and and some shit just catches you off guard. And like what y'all go through, whether it's a milestone, like y'all can go through a lot of shit in your relationship. And so when it comes to love, it's just like love comes with sacrifice. It comes with sometimes being by yourself. It sometimes comes with leaving things behind that you thought were everything and it's not.
Correct.
Like love comes with a lot of shit to it. It's a lot of baggage that comes with love. So of course it brings pain to you.
Especially real love, not fake love.
That part.
Like if you really love somebody or there was a lot of genuine love there, like real love, of course it's going to come, especially if you might not talk to that person no more, you might not deal with this person no more, but people still, they might get past something, but it's still a little bit of pain there. I don't care what nobody say. Like if you really love somebody, to a certain extent, depending on how your relationship was, but if you really love somebody and then
Yeah, like if you
They go hand in hand.
It don't have to be just a romantic relationship. It can be a mother and her child, like, or a
Yeah.
father, or parents and their child in general. And you see your child going down a downward spiral that you didn't expect. Like, you thought you raised them well, you gave them a good childhood, you loved them right, and then you just see them out here doing shit that you never would have expected in a million years would happen. And now they just kind of going down a real dark path. And you, and that love that you have for them wants to save them every time,
Right.
And you can't. Because they have to want to save themselves to a certain extent and a certain age.
Yeah.
Because at a certain age, you can definitely save them. But if they in their late 20s, early 30s, I mean, yeah, it ain't much you can do. They have to want to change for themselves.
Yeah, you can't make nobody change. They want to change. You know what I'm saying? Off of that, do you believe you can lose yourself by loving someone else?
Yeah.
Meaning you love that person so much and will do whatever, you don't realize you're losing yourself.
You don't feel as happy in your relationship anymore. Or you don't feel as happy in the situations where everything just feels like a job. Everything feels like you constantly have to be, on something to a certainty to be like, I have to do this to make sure that they're okay. But am I okay? Or are they making sure you're okay? Because no, they're basically expecting you to make sure they're okay.
Right.
Expecting you to make sure everything goes right. And they're not even worried about what is taken out of you. Like, you can't give people pieces of yourself if you're not whole. You can't do that. Like, you're not a puzzle. Like, you have to be whole within yourself to help somebody else. And if helping that person is draining you, you have to stop immediately. You need to cut that. I'm not saying cut ties, but you need to stop. Because eventually you have to want to help your fucking self.
Yeah. Listen, because some people, best way to explain it, some people are like that, like the game Jenga. They're like that block. They're like the single block at the bottom holding everything else up. And Lord knows you just can't take you can't take anything out, or everything's gonna topple.
Yep.
And that's the type of weight sometimes people hold on their shoulder when they in a relationship, and they're so in love that they don't even realize, like, yo, this is really, like, they don't realize that it's not good for their health. They don't realize it's not good for their mental. Like, it's just all like, you know how many people out here going crazy over somebody they loved?
Yeah.
They're not even with them no more, but they're mentally, they're just fucked up. Like, they're just really just fucked up. They can't even eat. They can't, like, one of those type, like, especially, I think the harder it is, like, if you've been with somebody, the longer you've been with somebody, the harder it is to deal with or realize that you're losing yourself, because you've been with that person so long, you don't even realize it. Like, you don't even realize, like, yo, you don't even smile the same. Like, you don't laugh the same. You don't even,
Like, when they come around and you don't feel a joy to see them. Like, how are you in a relationship with somebody, like, especially if y'all living together, and when they come in the house, you automatically feel like, this motherfucker here.
yeah, that's bad. That's bad.
Like, that's bad. Like, y'all, you're not
even living. You just
out.
dealing with. You just at that part. That's what goes to you dealing with somebody. Literally, like,
that's not even. It's a little bit of ounce of love still there, but you're not even happy to be around them. Like, you don't even like them. That's what it is. You don't like them.
Yeah.
You love them, but you don't like them. And that might happen eventually, like, during the relationship. I do believe eventually you stop liking your partner to a certain extent, but you got to build that back.
Yeah.
To it. It's just like, that's why they say, like, continue to date your partner. Continue to do things. No matter what you're going through, continue to find the joy in y'all being together.
Yeah.
So that you don't have to go through that.
Because if not, that will turn into a miserable place. You don't want to have to go home and be miserable.
And
like,
that's when you
that's
start
bad.
treating.
That's supposed to be a happy place.
Cheating or drinking. Or both.
Yeah, you're supposed to be a happy place. Like, yeah, no. What do I got? Oh, here we go. All right. So, are all men the same, or do you allow the men to handle you the same?
You allow the men to handle you the same. Because all men are not the same. Just like all females are not the same. So it's just like if I said to somebody, matter of fact, it was a post. I saw a post and the girl said she had a conversation with her friend, and she told him, she was like, it was a therapist. I attract fuckboys. And the therapist said to her, no. She was like, you're intelligent, you're smart, you're beautiful, you have a great head on your shoulders. You attract a man, you choose a fuckboy. So if you feel as though you're getting the same recycle of niggas coming through your DMs, constantly, around you constantly dating them, talking to them, then you stop, and then it's just like, fuck these niggas. That's because you're choosing them. You're choosing that. You're gonna attract the man. You're a female. You're gonna attract the man regardless. Right. Now the man you choose depends on you. You have to start looking at your perspective differently. Some of y'all just go straight to what you're used to and don't even know it. You're biased to this nigga. That's your type of nigga. You can't even look at the other niggas because this is all you see. As soon as he got one characteristic of that,
that's what they're going to.
You don't look at nothing else. And that goes the same way for a nigga as well. They'll say like, oh, bitches ain't shit, and all y'all bitches the same. They'll categorize us all together real fast. As soon as one girl either breaks his heart or does some whole shit, every female he encounters is a hoe. It is like, I'm not a hoe, sir. Like I'm not even that female. You gotta take that and you gotta start looking at it as your bias to that one female. You keep going after the same bitches. You decide to go to the same bar or the same club or the same neighborhood, and you encountering the same type of females. Broaden your horizon. Go to a library, go to Barnes & Noble. I don't know. Go to a different store at the mall or something like that. Stop overlooking the girl that you think won't give you the time of day, because maybe that might be the one that's actually for you.
That's crazy. That's actually a great way to look at it. I didn't even think I never even thought of it looking at it from that perspective of like what you said. Like a woman will attract a man naturally, but who they choose is the person that the same around the same lines as all the dudes you've been dealing with. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. I don't think what's crazy. I don't think people even thought to think that way because like you said,
it's called the unconscious bias. Listen, my job is real big on pointing this shit out to us. Unconscious bias. It's more so along racism and diversity, but it goes into hand with this.
That's a good way. That's actually a good way to look at it because you'll see a woman or a man, they'll say, "Oh, I attract the same motherfuckers. I attract ain't shit niggas." No, you pick the ain't shit nigga.
Right.
You keep picking the ain't shit nigga. You know the signs. That's what's even worse. You know the signs of an ain't shit nigga. You know the red flags of an ain't shit nigga, but you still pick an ain't shit nigga because it was something like you said. It was something that you wanted in that guy. Mm-hmm. Maybe it was one thing you wanted. Maybe because sometimes people just be lonely. They like, I was lonely. Oh, so I wanted some attention. So they constantly showed me attention. So bam, I automatically fell for this person. I like this person. Mm-hmm. But you realize that they didn't have shit else going for them. It's a reason why they had to give you so much attention because they didn't have no job. Yep. They didn't have no house. Mm-hmm. They didn't have no car. They don't even barely take care of the kids. And you knew that this woman or this man wasn't shit. But you, like you said, you seen something in them. Just like a guy. Oh, this chick, you go for chicks, all the chicks with the fat asses. And you know it's most likely there's going to be some problems behind them fat asses. You're not even vetting them. You're not even trying to see what else they got going for themselves. You see they got a fat ass, they got a clap. I want to hit that. That's all niggas be wanting to care about. They want to hit that. And then they realize this chick is crazy, just like the other 3 chicks that I dealt with before her that was crazy. But, people fall.
You fall for what you fall for. And, I think people need to start having that conversation with themselves. Like, this is like just look at your pattern of the niggas you talk to, the niggas you were just fucking with, and your relationships.
Patterns.
What characteristics did they all have that you're all finding is very similar to the guys that you're coming in contact with? If you see this guy has a characteristic that you're so attracted to and everything like that, pause. Just pause for a second. See what other characteristics he has, and then you'll know to yourself, yeah, this is not the nigga I want to fuck with. You see that he's giving you one attention. He has that characteristic. Does he have a job? Does he have anything he's doing during the day? If you find that out, or you find out he has no goals, stay away from that nigga because that's not the nigga for you. That's the nigga that you keep going for. So if he does have a job but he gives you attention, okay, have a conversation because now it's something different that he's giving you that nobody else was probably giving you.
Mm-hmm. Now see, that's the one thing you can control. Like you said, you can't control what nobody else does, but you can control who you pick. Because you know why? Because you pick them. You chose them. You knew, like I said, you knew. It could have been your last relationship. You knew that this dude you're dealing with now had the same pattern as your last relationship. But you was like, I'm going to give him a chance. Yeah, can't give everybody a fucking chance.
It's okay to vet a few niggas to see which one, you going to keep around or whatever case may be. It's okay to be single and date how you want to date.
How you want to date, but.
Fuck how you want to fuck, date how you want to date. Do whatever you want to do. Just be safe. Don't let nobody categorize you as a hoe because you're making your choices. And stop looking at me. And because it goes the same for a guy. Like, you not, every chick that you talking to or whatever case may be, you not sitting there thinking like, oh, she wifey. Some of them, you not even giving them category to be put in
Nope.
because you know exactly where they stand with you, and then you put some other ones in that category because you know this might go somewhere.
That'd be the sad part. Some chicks don't even know. They be thinking they working
Like
in the
shit.
wifey category. The whole
Yeah.
time you just the Joe that he called when he trying to
When
come
he
through.
trying to come through
He
real
running
fast,
game around
like-
you like you won't even never seen.
Or you like, oh, we always going out, but he taking you to the same bar. No, sis, you ain't the one. It's okay.
You ain't.
Find you the nigga that makes you the one. This nigga is not it because he doesn't want you. It's all
Realize that you in the category.
Exactly.
All right, last question. Do single mothers raise boys to be emotional men? If so, is there a problem with a man being emotional?
No. I don't think they raise them to be emotional men.
I think they raise them to learn. I think some women raise their son to learn how to deal with the emotions. Now,
Yeah,
more so now than it was. I think
back
back then.
because a lot of young niggas was hard. You're a hard body because your mom's telling you to suck it up, stop crying. You know, not to show your emotions. And a lot of little boys now are learning to show their emotions because their parents are kind of consoling that into them. They're talking it out rather than just sending them on their way and flagging them and like basically saying like they'll stop crying eventually. They're not doing that anymore. I believe that to a certain extent a single mother will her son will stand out from somebody else's son who was raised in a 2-parent household with a dad or a strong father figure around him. Even
Right.
if it wasn't a 2-parent household, he had uncles that was around, older brothers that helped him out, or a really good grandfather, anything like that, like older cousins, anybody that was around that can give him a strong, likeness of what a man should be when they get older, then you're going to see him stand out besides that single mother's son.
Right.
Because he might be a little bit more either into his emotions or he might be just a little bit more harder.
Right.
And his outlook on women will probably be different as well, depending on what his mother is raising him to think. Because
Sure.
then you have those guys that are raised to think that your mom's supposed to cook, the woman's supposed to cook, clean, raise the kids, not talk back, stay in her place, da da da. Then you'll have the ones that think that the woman is supposed to support the man in everything, and yeah. And then you have the ones that think the woman is supposed to be your partner
True.
in everything you do.
Everything's different. Like, same for the way a single dad will raise, because there's a lot of single dads too that sometimes get overlooked. A single dad can try to raise a female. You know what I'm saying? That's hard. That's hard too, because you can only do so much too. So much before you like, all right, you done spoiled, or you done gave your daughter all of this game, and now she coming off like she the head of the household, because she came up with you, and you was the head of the household. Mom wasn't around, so she was raised off the dad. So the dad was showing, this how I run the household. Now the woman, she took those traits and just move it to her everyday life, her adult life.
If she a daddy's girl, something different.
Yeah, good luck.
It's gonna automatically be, well, my dad didn't do that. My dad can do that. I'm gonna call my dad about it, and just like, even though you're a daddy's girl and your dad did so much for you and he raised you right and treated you nice and made you know this is how you made you know that you don't settle for no man treating you anything less.
Right.
That's perfectly fine. But once you get a man, there should be no reason you're constantly calling your father.
Yeah, because you don't need to be with that man.
Because what does your man do?
I wish my daughter would call you, dad, can you come change his tires?
Huh?
Why you better ask that nigga you dealing with?
Exactly.
Like, what, yo?
You telling your dad, oh yeah, me and my boyfriend moved in together, we doing this and the third, and then you calling him because
the
you
basic
need rent,
shit.
because you need rent money.
Like, well, yo, he can't put a doorknob on. Like, bro, what?
My lights need to be fixed. Like what? I
Think
don't
he
call-
don't know how to change the light bulb and shit. Like, come on, bro.
I don't call my dad for shit. It ain't no purpose. First of all, shit, my mom was a handyman, so it don't even fucking matter. I know how to fix shit. But if my nigga, we want step, you can perfectly fine. But no, we don't. Eventually, you shouldn't be calling your father. Like they're passing the baton over to the nigga that you feel as though you're gonna keep him around.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Just like a nigga calling his mom all the time, right there. Oh, let me call my mom and ask her.
Like,
you be like, bro, grow up. What is we doing? Listen, there's nothing wrong with single moms. Do single moms raise the boy to be emotional? I don't think purposely they do. Not purposely. I mean, they just raising them how they think they should raise them. I'm saying, like I said, the dad ain't around. A woman she's gonna raise you how she was raised. She's a woman. She can't tell you how to be a man.
Right.
She can explain to you. You know what I'm saying? She can explain to you stuff, but if the son is just seeing the mom, that's all he know. He don't know nothing else. That's why a lot of single moms put their sons in sports, football, basketball, anything that has other little boys or other like men figures,
right,
showing them like coaches and stuff. That's why, because they need to have that male figure in their life. Now, to wrap this up when it comes to different perspectives on different, different. That's kind of what our show is about. But just
Everybody can have a different perspective. Don't try to push your agenda on anybody else because you can't do that. Like it's freedom of speech and everybody's free to have an opinion. You can't push anything that you believe in on anybody else. Talk to them about it. Have a disagreement. Have a discussion. It is what it is. But just know that everybody's thought process is not going to be yours, and they're not either stupid or less intelligent because it's not the same as yours. Because that makes no sense. Because at the end of the day, somebody can come along and make you feel the same way. So just
listen
to understand and
Please do.
listen to understand, comprehend, and not listen to just respond.
Yeah, because some people treat listening like clickbait.
Yes.
They see a 50 second. They do it for us. Y'all see a 50-second clip and y'all just be right at us.
Dumb, stupid.
Literally, y'all cause all types of. Y'all cause all types. Listen, if you go actually watch the whole clip, watch the whole episode. That's why it's called clickbait. We bait you in to go watch the full episode. But we appreciate y'all as always. As always, love. As always, we appreciate our supporters. Like I always say, common sense ain't so common. So put a little bit more smarts in the world. Like always, like I said, if you need to get gear, Letsmakesenseofitpodcast.com. It is on there. New gear is coming because it's about to be the springtime. And on that note, it's the boy Vince. Holla at y'all.
Make it make sense. Come on, make it make it make sense. Come on, make it, baby. Make it make sense. Come on, make it.